Greetings, humans. Welcome. My name is Sierra, and this is Sacred Sincerity YouTube, where we talk about spiritual philosophies, motherhood, fatherhood, birth, yoga. Today, we have a segment called Sincere but with Attitude, where I dive in for about 5 to 15 minutes about tough conversations that we may not want to have, but are necessary for our growth, and they're things that we might actually really need to hear. So today I want to talk specifically about the people that we surround ourselves with. Now, you may or may not have heard the concept or the term or the phrase or whatever it's called of the people that you hang out with the most is who you kind of become. And this is extremely, for me personally, has been a really raw topic for me because I love my family. I love the people around me. But there's been many moments where the people around me have dragged me down in one area or another, in one way or another. Now, I'm not suggesting that everyone around you needs to be perfect and flawless and have the same exact, bigger than life energy per se, but it is a necessary component to your growth. Now, it's taken me a long time, as I've said, to understand this concept. I listen to many successful people in all different types of success. So, I listen to successful farmers, successful mothers, successful billionaires. So it's all a range of success. And a common theme that they say is to make your circle small. And it was such a hard thing for me to grasp and to understand because I love people, right? I love the people around me, but I realized that sometimes in your relationships, you may need to be, or you may need to have someone with that tough love attitude who wants you to be better and to do better for yourself. And personally, and for me personally and for other people around me, I have one friend in particularly who has very an issue with her mother, and she loves her mother very dearly, but her mother is not that supportive of her and her dreams. She's relatively negative. She tries to be positive, but the undertone is negative. She doesn't do anything for herself, and it's really dragging her down. And it took her a long time for her to even really see it, because she's just like, okay, whatever, that's just who she is. And, we're just going to let her be whoever she is. And I'm not going to try to change her, because she gets upset when I try to change her, or she gets upset when I mention, different health things. And here's where the attitude's going to come from, okay? If people don't want to better themselves, that is not your fucking problem to solve, okay? I'll say it again. If somebody does not want to get better, it is not your problem to solve, all right? If you're watching this and you have someone that you care very deeply about and that you love, it's very human and natural to want to lift them up. But sometimes you cannot lift them up. You have enough fucking shit to deal with, okay? If you are someone who busts their ass at the gym, who eats healthy, who, is getting their money, who is raising a family, and who keeps the household tight and strong, and, gets their kids outside and does all these things to be successful, and yet these people around you are not doing a goddamn thing to better themselves or to better their lives, they're out. They're out. They need to be out. And I say this with confidence now, because it took me about 6 years or 5.5 years since my daughter was born for it to really click in my head, like, well, why do I have to separate myself? I just, I'm coming from a very spiritual place, like love all, understand their why and meet them there and send them that love. Listen, I am all for praying for the people around you. I am all for having a more, positive spiritual outlook on situations, but you gotta be careful, very, very careful, that you do not let the fantasy of who they are be make you think that that's the reality, okay? Because most of the time, the fantasy of who they are is what you're thinking of, is what, when you think of them, you think of the fantasy of who they could be or who, they manipulate themselves to be. But essentially, when you strip it all away, they are not who you think they are. They just are who they are. And that's the fucking fact. That's the cold, hard reality. They're not showing up for themselves. Let that be a message to you, and allow this to surrender, for you to surrender yourself to the truth that they are not who you think they are, okay? And I say this because with such passion, because I love the people around me, but majority of the people around me, particularly family, are not doing what they need to be doing for themselves. And I used to feel chronically guilty for wanting better for my family. I would feel chronically, ashamed for trying to push someone who says they want to do something. And so I will go out of my way to do something, to, make a grocery list for them or a workout plan for them. And they just say, I don't want to do it. So who is that really hurting? You. And, I'll be damned, and you should be damned too, to let anybody take your peace, to make you feel like shit, to make you feel like you're doing something wrong for bettering yourself, for bettering your body, for, doing the difficult things regardless, right? Hold on, please. So my message is, and here's the thing too, we have spent, sometimes if you're watching this and you have been focusing on your growth and you have been doing the things, whether you want to or not, that are going to uplift you and to bring you up, keep doing that first and foremost. And second of all, realize, this is what I was saying. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. All of that work that you have been tirelessly putting in, so that way you can be a better mom, you can be a better dad, you can be a better friend, you can be a better sister or a brother, or all these, to be a better fucking human being. You're gonna do all of this stuff and then try to be better for someone else who doesn't want to do anything for themselves. And I'm not saying to, mother F everybody in your life and to just like cut everybody out and be like, you suck. But I am saying that sometimes it is necessary to slowly just separate yourself, and let the natural busyness of life and the natural separation occur, because they're either going to realize or not. And if they do realize and they want to have a conversation, then, go ahead and have that conversation with them. But they have to be open and willing. And I will not allow myself to overextend myself for people who aren't even overextending for themselves. I will not anymore. And I suggest and invite you to do the same. Do not give yourself to people who will not give to themselves. Okay? If you were to take anything away from this conversation, it would be that. Do not give to people who are not open and willing to give at least a little bit consistently, compoundingly to themselves, okay? It's not worth it. It's going to bring you down. It's going to make you upset, and your body is going to remember these little moments of, you doing something and, it not being reciprocated the right way, okay? So hopefully, if you're listening, this resonated at least a little bit. I invite you to not take anything and everything that I say as absolute truth. This is my personal observation. This is my personal opinion. I suggest that when the video is over, think about it for 24 hours and come to your own conclusions about what I said. And ask yourself if there are people around you who are, who are those types of people who say, well, I want to do this and I want to do that. And they don't do a damn thing about it constantly. And I don't mean, once in a while. I mean, every time they say they want to lose weight, every time they say they want to get better with their money, every time they say they want to do this, and then they never, hardly ever follow through. Those are the people that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the people who are, they're trying. Maybe they're not there yet, but you see them trying, okay? This is not for those people. They're for the people who constantly and chronically say one thing and do another, okay? So thank you for listening. Thank you so much for being here. I want to leave off on a good note and send you strength, send you love and peace, and remember who you are at your core, at the depth of who you are. Remember who you are and remain that person no matter what. Protect your peace, protect your strength. And yeah, that's it.